Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Factorio, where I am building a megabase on Earth. I am using a mod, Cities of Earth, focusing on the Old World Hemisphere. My goal is to reach 10,000 science per minute with a rail-based design. The resources are set to maximum size and density, and biters and pollution are turned off. The mod list is shown in the description, as well as a link to my Twitch channel, High Speed. Please come visit me there. Questions and comments are welcome. Thank you for watching. Hello. All right. So, we are going to... Wait, how is that possible? I thought I set all my trains to manual. Oh, here's another train that's moving. I don't understand how that's happening, but I thought I got them all. So I need to reconfigure my supply train to bring me a lot more arithmetic combinators. So that's what I'm missing. I mean, if I'm going to do this, might as well have that back. But I'm seriously thinking that I need to have more of that, because that's 8 to 3. If your name is Rails, you should be able to build a rail station. Getting used to my new mouse. Buttons are different. I'm good with all this. Okay, I should have a tiny train somewhere. So because this is going to require materials, I'm going to bring all of these up to BAM and spread out from there. Yeah, I don't want a bunch of ghosts hanging out. Slowpokes. See you, losers. No. Hi, Zoe. That's funny. I'm just going to organize my shit by going back here for a moment. Well, first, which of you carries a lot of constant combinators? Because I think some of you do. And I said constant, but I meant, yeah. I'm good, I think. I don't need any of these right now. Not going to be doing any plumbing work. I don't see that I'm going to be replacing any train stops. So I had a thought about this. I don't know if this would work, but here's something I don't want to lose this idea. That would get me. No, that wouldn't work. I wonder what this would do. It would certainly improve unloading performance. So I'm going to leave that aside. Go back to what I was doing. Now I'm going to need to reprogram some trains. And I've run past the trains I need to reprogram. Ah, yes, you're one of the ones I want to reprogram. You're the other. Turn these two off. Clean up the mess that happens here. Oh, I've already got 50 in each. So that updates you. And I'm pretty happy with what you've got. But Mustache, I never need this many assembling machines. For that matter, I never need that many chemical plants. But there was something I kept falling short of. Chests. The biggest thing makes that, and that's 144. That's 320. It's designed to build this at 768. So you've got 500 furnaces and 500 furnaces, so you can handle that. And that's 866 furnaces. Or assemblers, and you've got 500. So I technically need all that, but I don't think I need all these power poles anymore. Yeah, that's 2,000 power poles, so yeah, I guess I do. So you do your job by supplying all of that. But I think I'm going to kick some of the rails out. But in addition to that, we're going to put some chests here. Alright, so I'll keep in mind that I have some space on Moustache to replace these rails with other things if I need them. Alright, let's go try and do some updates and see how it goes. This probably needs to be rebalanced now. I'm probably going to sit here while all this work gets done. I'm leaning towards we all go swarm and finish that one, but I also want this one to stop flashing at me. I'm gonna make this a redeem. Oh, I didn't do any of the fluids. It's alright, I'm gonna go over here and start here. Actually, I'm gonna go up. No, I'm gonna stay there. Well, I might as well start right where I am, huh? So what's my strategy? I use Storm's tool to disconnect all but the first. And that's it for an unloader. No, it's got to be these. So these are for 100. I need to come up with new ones for 100, 200, 50, and 10. Probably don't need to do 10, but why did that change colors? But what do I actually need to make this happen? Because My bots are off, so I can go stand here safely. Well, that was not desirable. Let's grab plastic again. So what's the difference here that makes this work? If I had a non-standard plastic, if I had a non-updated plastic build, which is what this is. And hey, look, this one failed too. So how do I get from this through this to this? With minimal pain. First of all, why the heck are these things connected? So we'll make sure those aren't connected. We'll make sure this is connected. So I can save these off, but I need to keep that. I need to replace that differently. So I might need to keep a constant combinator on me and place that a bunch. But I don't think I need to. I don't think I need to change this station. Set the train limit I. Set the train limit I. So I can avoid. Oh, is that what oh, yeah, that's right. I copied the one that I've customized. So I can avoid copying over the station. That's good. I need to grab this and paste it here. And then change this back to whatever it was. Which doesn't really have to happen, but it's convenient for me. And then copy All of that because I need the power poles. Lady Irene. Arlene? Yeah, there's an N in there. I never noticed that. Welcome. So yeah, I'm on Earth. You caught me at a excruciatingly boring time because I am once again refactoring everything. No, just my train unloaders because my controls weren't good enough. Because my unloaders, well, they created situations where things didn't get balanced. So so if I take what it is that I actually need to paste here, and then get rid of the things that I don't want to carry in case they don't line up and whatnot. This is what I care about. Just think. Just think, Lady Arnie. If you were playing Factorio with your son and you were on Earth, you could be giving geography lessons too. Because you could do the whole Earth, or you could do just the United States, and there's a map that has all of the state capitals as cities. And you could say, you know, we're going to go from Lansing, Michigan to Tallahassee, Florida. Capture those rocket silos. I'm just saying, it's an educational opportunity as well as a family bonding opportunity because I've seen you play with your son, and it's adorable. It's what endeared me to watching your streams. So if I just copy that, I don't think it'll be broken. So if this is all I have to do, but I need to keep a constant combinator on me. Because I'm going to need to customize it. So the first thing is to carefully disconnect, which I've already done. I don't want to save this combinator because it's going to have... Excuse me. Seem to have a sinus issue today. Oh, I don't think they do. It would be a good use of a lot of things. I mean, first off, it's an engineering puzzle. And once you solve the engineering puzzles, then it becomes a logistics game. And it's not going to be for every kid. That's for sure. Um, but you'll know right away which kids it's for. You'll know which ones are drawn towards STEM. All right, so on this side of it, we just need to disconnect all these wires. You're a heck of an entertainer. I've told the story several times about how I watched you and your son go out chasing biters, and he kept dying because he didn't have the muscle memory, motor skills to kill all the bugs in time before they swarmed him. But you kept protecting him. You didn't go out and kill the bugs for him. You let him get better, and that was fantastic. Oh, I thought the young man that you were playing with was your son. Still, I'm going to tell the story that it was your son. I'm not going to be the one who's wrong here. Oh, this is 200. 100, 250. Hey, Llama Boy. Well, if you said you were watching, then you'd be right. And I would say jolly good show on watching. All right. Oh, faceless. I call my autosave faceless because he's a friend of mine. And as a person, I tease him and I tell him that he's useful, but he's also mildly annoying and he gets in the way. Which, that's what the autosave does. I don't like these yelling at me, so I'm going to do that. That's 0 and that's 1, so when it needs 1 train, this will light up, and when it needs 2 trains, that will light up. And I think I've changed my mind on how I'm going to do this. Nope. Yeah, greater than or equal to 1. So that it's obvious. And then greater than or equal to 2. I like that better. And that means that this needs a new good. So according to my notes, which is what this is, unloading. If it's a 100, then the first stack is 3,000 and 2,000. Because what I'm looking at is this is going to unload a wagon, and there's going to be 4 of them in that configuration. A wagon's going to hold this. So basically each of these represents a quarter of the wagon. So what a wagon can hold, which is for a stack size of 100, and I wish I could just use combinators, but I can't because too much math. Game can't handle it. So if a stack size is 100, then what I need to look for is 1/4 of... Yeah, well, I had the exact everything I wanted, and the game came to a crawl, and I couldn't keep going. So I have refactored and re-refactored these station unloaders a couple times. And now I've gone with... I think I'm really happy with the solution I've come up with. And the solution I've come up with is... Now, it's important to note that the reason I need this solution is because when it comes to how I do things, I treat this column as an independent entity. So I've got an 8-wagon train, and I've got 8 unloaders and 1 loader in a stack. So they go like that, and they go like that. So they're independent of each other. There's no big mixer here to blend all of the unloads and all the loads together. So when it comes to unloading the trains and loading the trains, I have to talk to each wagon individually. And in unloaders, I need to say, if any of these unloaders gets empty, call the train, because I need more. But on the loaders, I need to say, if all of these have enough to load a train, then call a train. But don't call a train when one of these is full and the other ones are not, because then the train's going to sit here and it might get stuck, which is what's caused me to have to refactor. Because for some reason, this wagon ran low on resources for plastic. And that meant that there's not enough red chips to load this train, and the train was just sitting here because this wagon number 7 never filled up, because the train is set to wait for 100%, wait for full. It's set for full cargo inventory. And if I didn't do that, then I'm just perpetuating the problem without me being aware of it. So this setup that I'm using now, what it does is it's only checking the first chest of each, first or last chest of each wagon. So it's checking one. That reduces usage, circuitry usage. And all this combinator does is it's just an arithmetic combinator that's adding 0. And by adding 0, it's converting what's in here to a signal that is unique. Because this thing is, say, for example, all of these are going to have plastic. And if I just sum up all the plastic values and say, okay, well, this one's got, you know, let's say 3,000 in it, and this one's got 0 in it. If I add those two up, I'm going to have 3,000. And if I want to call a train at 2,000, or if I don't want to call a train until 4,000, it's not going to work because they're not balanced farther downstream, so I can't add these and assume it. I have to find a way to uniquely do that. Now, I had a design earlier that was putting them on a flag system where if it detected that this was low, it would raise a flag. But then I've got to have another system over here that is deciding, do I have enough flags, and do I have enough flags? And so it got really kind of complicated. So what I've done here is I've just used an arithmetic combinator to convert whatever's in here to a value of 1 and then put it on channel 1. And then I'm very careful, and I could have done this many ways, I'm very careful that the red circuit is only going to the inside of the input of these combinators, and the green circuit is the output, and green and red do not mix. So then I'm asking this, and this is where the numbers, and I wish I could use my old system, because I had a constant combinator that I would calculate the stack size with. So I just set this to say plastic 100 and a stack size, or a plastic and then a stack size of 100. And then I'd use another combinator to calculate. But I've got over 1,000 stations, and that's being done all the time. And what they said in one of the FFFs, one of the Friday Facts, was that you don't want to do things that are static dynamically, like setting a filter inserter. Don't set a filter inserter by a combinator, which is what I was doing, because every tick, it's trying to set this filter inserter from that combinator. And when you multiply that across how many of these things I have, it was chewing up resources. Long Short 2.0 will be very welcome when it gets here. Hello, Pony. Yes. So I'm statically assigning these filter inserters, even though I don't want to. And I'm statically assigning these thresholds, even though I don't want to. So the way my math goes, and at this point I'm reviewing for my own sanity, if this wagon, which has 4 unloaders, if it's a 100 stack size, a 100 stack size wagon can hold 4,000, because the wagon's got 4 rows of 10. Well, I've got 4 chests, so if this one has 1/4 of that, which is 1,000, then it's got room for 3,000 more. And this is an unloader, so it's not like I want to go, oh, when you're at 1,000, order a train. No, it's when you have enough room to unload a train. What is room to unload a train? It's 4,000, because that's how much a wagon has. But I've got it across 4 chests, so it's 1/4 of that, so it's 1,000. But the chest can hold 4,000, 4 rows. So when this is at 1/4 depleted, I want to call a train. When it's at half depleted, I want to call a second train. So my logic here is not straightforward, it's inverted, which means when you're less than 3,000, call a train. And when you're less than 2,000, call a train. So when any of these tell me that they are less than that value, that's how I know to call trains. And so that's what these are for, is for me to statically assign 3,000 and 2,000, and then I can just copy paste. And I'm using this as my way of figuring it out. So now let's pretend for a moment that the stack size is 200. So I've got a green circuit train somewhere around here. That can hold 8,000. And a chest can hold 8,000 if I cap it right. So I want to call a train 2,000, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000. I want to call a train when it's at 6,000 and another one when it's at 4,000. So this is going to be 6,000. And then this is, hey, we're really low, call a second train, 4,000. I could keep going, but combinators. Now the 50, which is like ores and things, are going to be half that, right? So that's 1,500 and 1,000, I think. And I'm going to double check that by looking at something that does coal, and that's why plastic is such a great one to use. Because coal, the chest itself holds, well, when it's full, which now these apparently are, 2K. A wagon can hold 2K. So 2,000, 500, so 1,500 and 1,000. So that's how these are going to be. All right. So these are the unloaders. And they're the unloaders for chests. I haven't even gotten to fluids yet, but it might solve another problem I had with fluids. So let me do a little more prep work once I get these converted. Because I'm going to need to do an unloader for fluids as well. And that's probably just going to go here. I don't want to turn my bots on because they'll start building all this shit. Oops. So I am giving myself a little indulgence in that I am using 2 lamps here. So there's the